Hello again. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and like the videos as well. So for task 3, we're going to do how to make a triangle on Microsoft Small Basic. We're going to do it slightly different this time. We're going to use a new command. The command is called a for loop. And what that basically is a type of command that allows you to repeat things over a certain amount of times. Okay, the computing word for repeat, the fancy word that we can consider in this case is called iteration, which is just another word for when you repeat. So with our case, because we're drawing a triangle, the triangle has 3 sides, so we will obviously consider it to be repeated 3 times. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to do. Remember, the commands are in the booklet, so you can refer to them, codes for any tasks that you do in the booklets as well. So the first line of code, we put a comment, a title for our task. So task 3, loop. Remember, you need to be done in caps lock. So make sure you do make those necessary changes. Put it all in capital letters. It just makes it a lot easier for the tasks we're doing. And in the first line of code, you need to have your name and class as well. And then in the second line, we're going to make that command, the code. We're going to create that code for the for loop. So what we have to use is the word for, and then we need to use something called variables. Variables are what the program uses to calculate and store numbers. Because we're drawing shapes, we're going to call our variable shape. And then we have to use equals 1, 2, 3. Now this part of the command, the for loop, is basically saying that for the shape, it needs to repeat from 1 all the way to 3. Now the advantage that this allows us to have is we're not using as much code as what we would have used normally. So like when we did task 1 and 2, we had a lot of code to draw those squares and rectangles, and now for this one we won't have as much code, as you will see me when I'm finishing off the commands. Right, so I've finished typing the commands. I'm just going to show you what each of the commands means. So I'll repeat again from the top all the way to the bottom. So the first line is obviously our comment, our title, with apostrophe. Second line of code, like mentioned, which I'll remind you again, we're using a for loop. So for, this is known as a variable, so giving it a name. Shape equals 1 to 3. So that's telling the computer that it needs to repeat something in increments of starting point 1 all the way to 3, and whatever's underneath it will need to repeat that. So the things that it's going to repeat is having green as the pen color, for it to move 200 steps, and for it to turn 360 divided by 3, which is the turn angle. And then we have to end the loop using this command, end for, which is one word, ENDFOR, which is noted in your booklet as well. So what will happen now is it will repeat it like that. So as you can see, the triangle has repeated. With taking into consideration, we've not had to type these 2 commands lots of times because we've used this and this. It repeats whatever's in between it from 1 to 3. Okay. Make sure you do take a screenshot of your program and you've tested it and it's working before you take the screenshot. Links are in the description.